When it comes to the devil, I don't play nice. It's your boy Nicky G from Lift with Christ. Chestnut checkers, raise the bar, keep climbing. Wait on the Lord, yeah, trust God's timing. Jesus is my broccoli, chicken, and rice. Ladies and gentlemen, Lift with Christ.
Hey everybody, make sure you all remember to subscribe, share this video with a friend, and leave your thoughts in the comment section. I hope you all enjoy the video.
What's up, guys? I'm about to show you all what I do for my push day. For my push day, it primarily focuses on my chest, shoulders, and triceps. This is my first set. I usually go heavy for my very first exercise, and I always like doing that on bench press. I usually go for 315 pounds because if I go any higher, I don't want to risk injury. And I usually try to crank out as many reps as possible. As you can see here, I got 7 reps on a bench press. I generally do 6 sets for bench. I'll start off, I'll do 2 heavy, 2 moderate, and then 2 light. So right here, I dove into my moderate, which is 225, and I cranked it out for as many reps as I could. Generally, chest is the anchor of my my push days. So for this one, like as you see here, I'm bench pressing. Bench press is the most important exercise to me, which is why I do it first. And whatever your favorite exercise is, I always recommend doing that at the beginning of the workout because that's when you have the most energy. For this one, I'm really focusing on fully extending my arms and getting that nice squeeze in my chest. This exercise is so awesome because it works. Obviously, the chest is the primary muscle group, but it also focuses on your tricep and your shoulders as well. So you're hitting all 3 here with this exercise. And right here, I'm going into 1 plate, and this one I'm just cranking out for as many reps as possible. There's a strategy to it. I usually go for strength at the beginning, but I go for a pump toward the end, and then that way you're throwing a lot of different tension on the muscle, so you get a lot more of a workout and a much better pump, and that's what I've noticed from my experience with weightlifting. And after bench press, what I'm doing here is diving into machine fly. I usually do machine flies right after my bench press because both are awesome chest exercises, and both exercises are different types of movements. One is squeezing your chest, the other is pressing your chest. So for this one, similar to the last one, I do 6 sets generally. And for time's sake, just so this video didn't go super long, I usually filmed between 2 to 4 sets so you guys can get the main idea of what I'm doing. So for this one, I believe I'm going for my heavy set. Yep, you can tell on my face right there. I'm maxing out the whole thing. One of my strategies that I try to focus on whenever I lift is going heavy. You know, just throwing as much pressure on your muscle as possible, and I usually do that right off the bat because, like I said, you want to do certain exercises and you have the most energy when your muscles are less fatigued. So I usually go for 2 heavy sets, and now I'm getting into my moderate. I believe the weight is at 220, 230 pounds for this one. And what I like to do, I know if you guys notice, if you guys look at my thumbs, I try to keep the thumbs behind the handle instead of in front of it because I feel a lot more tension in my chest. And as you can see, I'm trying to get as much range of motion as possible. I should have done a better job there, but I'm trying to get my hands as close together so I get that full stretch in my pectoral muscles. And right here, I'm going for a light set. Again, like you start off heavy in the beginning, and then once your muscle gets fatigued and you break it down, I always like going for light and going for as many reps as possible. Generally, I try to get in like the 20 range. You know, the cool thing with going for reps is like you get a really nasty pump, but it really tests you mentally. You know, I find it easier for me to crank out the 1 to 2 reps, but I notice it gets a lot harder whenever I go for more reps because you really have to mentally focus, keep your breathing down, and you feel a lot more pain the more reps you go on. And this is me wrapping up my machine flies here because I'm about to go into my weighted dips. This one, I love doing this one, and like I said, the first 3 exercises I'm applying as much pressure as possible. So if you can do dips and you can add weight, I highly recommend it. And like I said, I go heavy in the beginning, so I do this to warm my body up, and then as I'm doing the weighted dips, I'll dive into just regular body weight dips as my workout progresses. So you can see here I'm going for a second set of weighted dips. For this one, I actually did 4 sets for this exercise. I went 2 heavy and 2 light. And I noticed at this point, you know, doing the weighted dips and the body weight dips right after the machine flies and the bench press, you're starting to really tax the muscles, you know. And this one, again, it's a lot, mostly lower chest and triceps, but it also does your shoulders as well. So dips is another great exercise, just like bench pressing, hitting all three push muscles, your chest, your shoulders, and your triceps. So now what I'm doing here is I'm diving into the dumbbell incline press. What I love about incline is that it's a little bit more shoulder dominant compared to your regular flat bench. This one you feel it a lot in your front delt and your shoulders and your upper chest, and you're also working your tricep. So especially on a push day, when you're trying to hit all three muscles, this one is an awesome exercise that you want to execute because you're going to hit all the primary muscles that you're trying to focus on. And for this one, I started off with 80-pound dumbbells, and for my third set, I actually went up to 90s. And then for my fourth set, I lowered the weight, and you're going to see it as the video goes on here. I actually did, I went a little bit lighter. I think I went like 50 or 60 pounds, and I did isolated dumbbell isolated dumbbell presses, and I'm gonna explain to you why here in a moment why I decided to do that. Yeah, this one, great exercise. I love doing these, and I went dumbbells instead of barbell just to be different from my bench press. So yep, right here, I believe these are 60-pound dumbbells. I'll leave one up because what I'm doing when you isolate it, one muscle is squeezing while the other one is moving. So with this one, you're really squeezing your chest for this exercise, and I've noticed I get a really good pump. And whenever you're holding or pinching or squeezing a muscle, it's a different type of tension that's on it. So for this one, just throwing this extra variation in really helps my overall workouts. And for this one, I'm just cranking away, just punching up at the sky and trying to get as many as I can. And one of the things I love about this is that it tests you mentally. You know, you're thinking about a lot while you're doing this. And then right here, I'm going for a little bit of a burnout, just trying to see how many I can get on my own without the squeeze. I only got it. So now what I'm diving into is hammer strength shoulder press. Exercises I did were mostly dominant. So for this, like I said, apply as much pressure as possible. I put 3 plates on each side, only got a few up, and mainly because I've been so taxed from what I did earlier in the workout, you know, just going heavy on bench, heavy on dips. But this one I'm cranking away, and I'm focusing on the muscle-mind connection. I'm really thinking about, okay, what am I doing with my traps and what am I doing with my delts? And with this, it's just what I've been doing to really help me focus on my shoulders. And this one, yep, going back to the alternating shoulder press, focusing on squeezing one muscle while you're working the other one. And this is an awesome way to close out any of your workouts. Just like I said earlier, I went 6 sets for this one, 2 heavy, 2 moderate, and 2 light. And this one, we're just trying to bring it home, you know, especially for the last set or the last 2 sets. You just really want to crank it out and push it because there's already a tension applied to those muscles. And if you focus on those last 2 sets and really crank it out, that's what takes your workouts ultimately to the next level. And into the next exercise, we're doing cable flies, and we're supersetting these with 8 push-ups. This one, straight up, I'm just trying to blow up my chest. If you guys notice, I try to connect my pinkies on this one because the machine flies is more of a hammer grip. So for this one, I focus on bringing my pinkies together to really get that squeeze in the lower chest. And I love cable flies, man. Like, as you can see, there's a lot of striation in my chest from this exercise. I don't go super heavy. Whenever I do my cable flies, I just focus on getting a good squeeze, good pump, and good tension. And as you can see, there's a lot of pressure applied to my muscles here. And this is just for good measure. You don't need to superset these with push-ups, but I'm kind of a madman when I work out. And I like it to where my muscles are depleted at the end of each exercise whenever I'm lifting, because I don't like leaving anything left in the tank. And then here's me going in for another set. Again, same thing. We did the bench pressing earlier. We did the incline earlier. We did the machine flies earlier. And then this one's just really bringing it home because we already put a lot of tension on the chest. But this one's just, you know, like for good measure, making sure we're hitting as many muscle fibers as possible and just trying to blow up whatever muscle groups that we're trying to train. And then diving into the next exercise, what I'm doing here, oh, it looks like I went a little bit heavier. Yeah, so I actually increased in weight because, like I said, I go lighter for my cable flies generally. But for this one, I actually wanted to increase in weight, just to throw something different. Usually I start heavy, go down. For this one, with me having a different focus, I actually started light and then worked my way up for these cable flies. And here's me busting out some push-ups, just trying to get as much blood to my muscles as possible and just executing while I'm at the gym. Yep, and here we are. We're doing it again. Same thing. Really, really focused, locked in. Notice again, trying to bring my pinkies together. Really focusing a little bit more on the lower chest. And man, especially just watching this back, like you could see in my chest how much striation there is. This is such an amazing exercise, and you got to do cable flies on your chest days. That's inevitable. Such a great tension for your muscles. And as you can see, we're hitting a lot of muscle fibers doing this right here. Yeah, look at my face. That's the face of fatigue and just focus, trying to squeeze every last rep out. Like I said, whenever you're working out, you don't want to leave anything left in the tank. Alrighty, and as we're progressing on here, we are going into our next exercise. We dominated that, and this is single arm cable push down. So I like doing single arm because what I'll do is I do 10 reps one arm, 10 reps other arm, and then I go down 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. And that way, when you're focusing, it's a non-stop workout. But when you're focusing on doing one tricep, the other one's resting. So it's a non-stop workout. And for me, I really, really love this one. I love cranking my arm back because I get such a range of motion in my triceps. And this one, we're just gonna truck away. Just like I said, we did the dips earlier. We went really heavy. This one's not as much about weight, but it's more about tension and getting a really good squeeze. And if you notice, as I'm doing this exercise here, I try to get a nice little pinch at the end. That way you could really see the head of the tricep coming out. And it's a different type of tension. Your muscle fibers react differently to different types of exercises, different types of tension, different types of weight. And it's important to throw as many different combinations at your muscles as possible and not doing too much of the same exercises, because that way when you keep throwing different things at your muscle has to react differently. And when you do that, it breaks down those muscle fibers, which will allow you to grow more muscle. And feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments. Tell me what you guys think of my workout, where it could be better, if you want to replicate it. I really want to see somebody try this. So if you're somebody who is inspired by this and wants to do this for themselves, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know if you decided to do this type of push workout. Yeah, you can tell on my face. I'm taxed. I'm just like, man, I just want to get this over with. Yeah, like I said, this one's a long one. I didn't leave a second out, but this one's a great exercise. Really blows up your triceps. And this one, ooh, this one's one of my secret weapons. This is called a landmine press. So right now I'm just warming up with this exercise. This one, I always like to go light first because I really want to get a feel for the barbell when I'm doing this one and practice on getting good form. This one works out your upper chest and your shoulders, and it's a different type of variation. If you notice where my hands are, it's not like a regular shoulder press where you're holding them above your head. I tuck my head down a little bit just to make sure I'm getting some shoulder action in the end, and I use that to warm up. And now I'm going to do single arm. And just like I don't go out clubbing. This is my club. This is me fist pumping. This is my version of getting my party on, is going to the gym and doing these landmine presses. But this one, single arm, really focusing again, front delt, shoulder, and upper chest. And what I do here is I'll do alternating. So I'll start off with my left arm. And generally, because my left arm is weaker, I'll do my left arm first, and I try to match whatever I did with my left arm with my right arm, and that way it keeps my proportions the same. And this one, you can look at my face. I'm really focused on a lot of my exercises of focusing on that muscle-mind connection. Just focusing on thinking about the muscle group that we're trying to hit and think about, am I feeling the pain in this muscle? And whenever you look at my face, it's just me. I'm just fully locked in and concentrating, not just on getting the weight up, but making sure I'm feeling it in my muscle groups. And that's one of the most important attributes that you can learn as a weightlifter, is just focusing on that muscle mind connection. There's me doing the alternating press again. This one I start off light and then go heavier in weight. As you can see, I got the 45-pound plate here, and man, I'm just taxed and exhausted. Like I said, with all these previous exercises, I can definitely tell at this point that my muscles are starting to get a little fatigued. But that's when we grow the most, is when your muscles are broken down and you feel like quitting, you feel like leaving the gym. But when your muscles are tired and you still push through, that's what separates people from good weightlifters to great weightlifters. And this one, I think I did a 45 and a 25. This one I'm just doing double arm, cranking it out for my last set, and really hammering away. You could tell just by looking at my face how hard I'm pushing myself here. And that'll take us to our next exercise, barbell tricep extensions, supersetted with 5 shoulder presses. So for this one, I really wanted to finish strong with my triceps, and I really like this one and this bar in particular because there's a little bit of a dip in the middle, so you can get more of a range of motion without it clunking your head. So what I would do is I would go for my tricep extensions, and this shoulders, what I did right here, this is just for good measure. My shoulders and upper chest has been taxed for my whole workout, but like I said, I don't like to leave much left in the tank, so I figured I'd throw in a little extra superset just for good measure. And this is me here really focusing on that muscle-mind connection, trying to keep my elbows still and getting that good pop at the top. So I'm hitting my tricep muscles. And there's me again, like I said, for good measure. This isn't necessary, but like I said, I didn't want to leave anything left in the tank with this exercise, and the more the better. And now this is the final one that I'm doing. This one is a machine chest press. I wanted to conclude with lightweight, as you guys saw here. And this one, just getting as much blood flow to the muscle. We went really heavy on barbell bench press. We went heavy for the incline, heavy on the machine flies, heavy on the dips. And for this one, just to conclude the workout, I'm just trying to gas my muscles at this point because, like I said, I don't want to leave anything left in the tank. So go for lightweight, a lot of reps. And it just really tests you mentally at the end, when you're super tired, having to crank out a lot of reps. This one is, like I said, it's just you're just trying to slaughter that muscle group. There's me getting a squeeze and then slowly back into a negative on the way down. Just like I said, just trying to get as much blood flow to my muscle as possible. And this is what I'm doing here to conclude all my workouts. I always do cardio. I usually do my cardio after my weight training, just because I don't like to wear myself out, especially if I'm going to be doing some heavy exercises like bench pressing. I always try to do my cardio at the end of the workout, and I always got to conclude with that post-workout shake. After knocking out 3 miles of cardio on the elliptical machine, I always go for some post-protein right after my workout to conclude, and there's me with those RTD shakes, 30 grams of protein. Thank you guys all for watching this video. Feel free to smash that like button, leave a comment, share this with a friend who you think may benefit from this video, and feel free to watch some more of my videos. And if you're somebody who liked watching this, or knows somebody who wants to book me for a motivational speaking event, or to do a 2 for Christ event with my wife, feel free to email me at liftwithchrist@gmail.com. God bless to each and every single one of you, and I hope to see y'all come back here soon. Take care now.